Welcome everyone to the Exit Advantage Live, built to scale, designed to sell. This session is for serious owners and leadership teams. Building for scale, freedom, and eventual exit by design, not chance. There will be 3 high impact insights that you'll be able to act on immediately that you'll take from this session, as well as strategies that reduce risk, boost valuation, and create true optionality. Optionality is having the option to exit at any time you're ready. And during this communication, you'll hear how buyer levers such as real-time dashboards and culture, pricing, and cost optimization exponentially increase valuation. My name is Charles Dentz. I'm the founder and CEO of eXitSystems. And we have partners here with us that will add further context as we go further into this session. Imagine multiplying your enterprise value in 12 to 18 months, not through guesswork, but a buyer-aligned platform engineered to de-risk and scale your business. We've helped clients increase EBITDA well over 10 times, compress deal cycles, and create exit leverage. Clients often experience value creation within 90 days of engagement. The data is clear. The majority of mid-market companies never achieve successful exit. The culprits: owner entanglement, lack of systems, operational chaos, cultural misalignment. Buyers walk away from those type of deals or those type of opportunities because they don't see them as opportunities. Not because the business lacks potential, but because risk outweighs clarity. Firms like private equity, family offices, corporate acquirers, growth equity funds, they want companies that run independently, that scale predictably, and produce data-driven clarity. That's what we deliver. At eXitSystems, we integrate systemization, cultural alignment, and valuation strategy into a single transformation platform. It's a platform built on the knowledge of former buyers, not just advisors. So I would say congratulations to you as a business owner for building a successful company. But here's the problem. It may still rely too much and too heavily on you. That limits the value and invites risk. And risk is something that buyers shy away from. They don't want the risk. So we change that permanently. We remove the risk. We help you achieve value at an exponential rate. This is Value Core, your predictive command center. So in 15 minutes, it reveals hidden risk, valuation levers, and strategic gaps. This is not another static dashboard. It's live, intelligent insight, engineered to guide growth and drive enterprise value. You'll notice something on these dashboards. And these dashboards are always reveal 5 dimensions that are critical to a given business and their industry. That's why these dashboards look different. One is focused on net promotion scores on the right, and the other is not. And it's because they're different industries. But this range is important to explain because at first glance it looks unusually wide, but that's intentional. Let me explain. This is not just a number. It's a reflection on what's possible. The lower end is the current market value, and it's factoring in all the various risks. The upper end is the value that could be achieved with full execution of the freedom blueprint. And we'll talk about the freedom blueprint here in a moment. But this range isn't theoretical. It reflects what we consistently see in the marketplace. Businesses that commit to a deeper 12 to 36 month transformation move into the upper third of this spectrum. Buyers don't pay for potential. They pay for precision and predictability. That's exactly what this diagnostic reveals. The clarity to act, the roadmap to scale, and the confidence to command a premium multiple. And when we think about this, it is very intentional in terms of it's designed to uncover hidden risks and savings opportunities. And sometimes that's worth hundreds of thousands or more just in itself. The fact is, just optimizing vendor contracts alone can return 100,000 to $1 million plus annually. And these cost savings lift valuation instantly. So I want to ask Nigel if he share a little bit on dashboards and give us an idea of how dashboards help increase valuation. So I'll stop sharing and let him share.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Charles.
You're welcome.
All right, everyone. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Fantastic. So today I'm talking about the dashboard system that sells your business for maximum valuation. And so I got a very, very sexy topic here, everyone. That's data. Okay. And if you don't think data is sexy, then you don't have the numbers to back it up yet, and you don't see the power of it. And so I'm going to show you the power of data. So first, we got to ask, why is data important, right? So there was a study that was conducted by MIT that showed that data-driven organizations are 23 times more likely to acquire customers, 6 times more likely to retain customers, and 19 times to be more profitable. If that isn't sexy, I don't know what is, right? And I want you just to imagine if you were, let's say you were a coach of a sports team and you called timeout. Now, based off the following information, what play would you make? Most people only keep track of the score, right? But there are other metrics that we need to make sure that we're knowing, like how much time is left, what quarter, how many fouls are left, right? Or here's another example. Let's say you have 2 teams here and you have 2 different scoreboards, right? Which team do you think actually has the advantage? You know, this might be an extreme example, but a lot of businesses are running it exactly like Team B. They just keep track of their score, their revenue, right? Because most businesses are run on visible numbers, like revenue, ad spend, their clients. But a lot of times, what kills the deal is what's under the surface. The churn, the delivery issues, pipeline leaks, team gaps. And this is where a lot of exits fall apart, right? Because if you can't read the scoreboard, you don't know the score. If you don't know the score, you can't tell the winners from the losers, right? Now, I just want you to think about your business. Like, just what would you give your rating right now in terms of a scoreboard if you had to? What would you give it 1 out of 10? Just think to yourself. Because without clear data, you can't lead, right? And buyers can't trust your business because there's just chaos. A lot of times there's spreadsheets scattered all over the map. There's a lot of hidden risks, just like Charles said, and just missed valuations, right? And so I know a lot of these softwares that we're using, these CRMs, they have their own individual dashboards and metrics embedded within them. But what we need to have is a full picture, because that's not what that's what they're missing right now. They don't really talk to each other. So what we need to do is we need to allow them to talk to each other so that we can get more advanced metrics that require multiple sources, right? Because most normal dashboards just show you what happened. What if you had an AI dashboard, though, that actually summarizes exactly where you're at? It'll tell you and forecast what's coming next, and then actually how to fix it before it even happens. And so this is the power of this new AI dashboard that we're bringing to the table. Because buyers want a GPS. They don't want an old school paper map, right? And, there are some stats that investors are actually looking for, like your EBITDA margins, your revenue growth rate, what's your current versus forecasted valuation range, right? Where you're at versus your future state. Also, key risks, right? Like key man risks. Like Charles was saying, if you leave your company, does your whole business fail? Does it crumble to the ground? Or if one of your clients leave, do they leave with 80% of your revenue? Or if you're marketing on one platform and say they go out of business, is your marketing completely ineffective now? Right, so we have to make sure that we're identifying these key risks that investors look for. And also, what's your LTV to CAC ratio, right? Are you making enough money compared to acquiring a customer, right? And then there's much more stats that we want to be looking at that investors are going to be definitely doing their due diligence with, right? And so we get these metrics from setting up dashboards in each department. So we do it in marketing, sales, financials, client success, fulfillment, we do operations. We also have an executive dashboard where the leadership team is going to be viewing, right? And this is usually where we find most of our clients with we call it spreadsheet hell, where they have a ton of different spreadsheets, software scattered all over, unorganized. Different team leaders are using different systems, and there's no unity, right? And so we want to make sure that everything is in one centralized location, one source of truth. And the thing about data is there is a lot of complexity with the data. It could be, paralysis by analysis is a real thing. And so we want to make it as simple as possible. If you see that marketing ROI formula, I mean, I didn't do that well in math in high school. And so just looking at this actually drives a lot of stress to me. I don't like complexity like this. Complexity, I mean. I like simplicity. And so we want to turn something like this into something that looks like this. So in this example, we can see we're marketing on 4 different platforms. And TikTok is giving us a 2.1x return on our marketing. And YouTube is giving us a 1.4x. Spend more money on TikTok. So it becomes very black and white in that sense, right? And we want to make sure that we're also improving the team's performance by just showing them their score, right? We want to show them exactly where there's room for improvement by identifying the areas of improvement and showing you who your top performers are and who needs some improvement, right? And if you want to incentivize your team, then gamify it and give them a reason to be incentivized, right? Because top performers are always going to be excited about ways to improve their numbers, and everyone else is usually going to shy away from that. And that's usually how you can identify, who's in the right seat and who's not. And we also want to be setting up our goals on a daily, monthly, quarterly basis, monitoring them in real time so that we can crush these targets. Okay. And the cool thing is once you start really having these data systems in place, then you can start analyzing performance trends over time, right? You're going to be able to identify success patterns and constraints, right? And because you've been able to track all these things in the past, now you can actually feed all this data into an AI agent, where this AI agent is going to be able to have predictive forecasting to see exactly where you're going, right? And then we can set up automations to send out weekly KPI reports, right? And the AI data insights is going to allow you to make faster decisions and really identify constraints in your business, and identify gaps that you might have overlooked in the past, right? And so just to recap everything, we want to have a unified KPIs across different departments: marketing, sales, operations, finance, culture, right? We want to use AI insights to give you predictive forecasting. We want to have real-time team performance visibility, so you know exactly who your top performers are. And we want to have custom dashboards that are mapped to the buyers that would potentially be investing in our companies. And so we want to run your business like an asset so that ultimately we can sell it at a premium. Cool. Back to you, Charles.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate it, Nigel. That's awesome. We have multiple ways to create these live dashboards, but it's all about data, like Nigel said. I do find it interesting that he and Rod are behind dashboards, but he says he hates math. So it's kind of an interesting thing. But their dashboards they create are amazing.
I made the dashboards because I know that a lot of people struggle with numbers like I did. And so I wanted to make it so simple and easy that even someone like me that struggles with it could actually understand it and like instantly identify it, right? So that was kind of my objective of building this. Like, how do I make this as simple as possible so everyone understands it?
Beautiful. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.
So real-time dashboards obviously are a critical lever, but you need more. You need aligned systems, leadership autonomy, and value-building culture. That's where transformation happens. This is how we turn complexity into clarity and turn growth into wealth. The Freedom Blueprint, it guides owners through every phase, from discovery and our Value Atlas diagnostic, which is driven by our Value Core AI engine, to systemization, cultural alignment, growth acceleration, and exit readiness. And there are levers that most companies, most firms do not help with. And one of those levers happens to be brand and culture. And brand and culture actually is something that is critical to creating additional value. See, culture in and of itself, most owners overlook it. But guess what? Buyers don't. They look for it. So I'm gonna ask Mark to talk about that a little bit. Talk about why this is a multiple and owners overlook it, but buyers don't.
Perfect. Thanks, Charles. And thank you, Nigel, for that wonderful presentation. You know, at eXitSystems, oftentimes we hear that culture is the most important aspect of the organization, yet many business leaders fail to understand how to move their culture. And as Charles said, how to align it with the brand promise that they make. So we've worked with multiple hundreds of organizations over the last couple of decades. Our technology and the assessment survey that we use at eXitSystems ensures that the leadership team of every organization and the workforce are aligned with the company's brand core promise, the promise that they make to the world, the brand positioning statement, and the behaviors that they share each and every day. It empowers faster, better decision making and a stronger path to growth and transition and exit. It's transformational because when you get everyone to align behind a North Star and everyone is in the boat rowing in not just the same direction, but the right direction, you get people cooperating, you get people collaborating, you get productivity that begins to rise. The silos are broken down. The passive aggressive behavior starts to subside, and your team starts to work collaboratively for the organization's main purpose, their main position in the in the world. So each and every person they make a promise to make subtle changes in what they do each and every day to help align the culture in the organization and migrate it toward the brand promise that they make. So many different things happen as a result of that. The chemistry of the organization is critical to an exit. And when buyers are looking at due diligence, one of the core things that they look at is this organization aligned? Is their chemistry solid? And do they have emergent leaders coming out of the organization as a result of that ongoing high level of effective communication that we bring about in eXitSystems? So there's a multiple factor here that takes place when organizations are aligned. And you can think of great organizations that you've had wonderful experiences with, whether it's Ritz-Carlton or Tiffany or Southwest Airlines or many other organizations that you have terrific experiences with. So that's what we do here at eXitSystems. Back to you, Charles.
Thank you, Mark. That's amazing. And let me summarize if I can, and you can correct me if I get this wrong, because you added great context. So, but we align culture and brand to our client strategy, and that drives real engagement. It reduces friction and elevates leadership autonomy. I believe that's what I heard you say. And
yep.
in which that not only increases performance in the company, but what it does, it increases valuation because buyers are looking for that. So this is where the optionality comes in. That company performs so well that the owner may decide, well, I don't want to sell after all because I've created such freedom for myself and my business is operating awesomely that I'll keep it for a while instead of sell it. And so we see that as well. So we are not only helping businesses prepare for exit by increasing their valuation, their EBITDA, but we absolutely create a well-oiled machine.
Yes, sir.
There's another part of this, and that's pricing. Pricing optimization is a real deal because most companies do not price their products and their services optimally. And what is it? It's pricing is a revenue driver. There's pricing structure, there's de-risking, but they all affect the multiple and the valuation. We've helped businesses 5 times and more their EBITDA, not just through growth, but through pricing optimization and revenue model refinement. It's one of the most overlooked levers, just like culture. It's just overlooked when it comes to scaling value. And we include that. That's what we do. We're pressing on those levers that most companies don't press on, and buyers love it. So these aren't projections, they're audited results. 38% valuation growth in a healthcare company, 35% conversion lift in a construction company, 1.3 million in savings from a software company. So eXitSystems delivers measurable enterprise value. So owner freedom in and of itself increases valuation because the buyer doesn't buy the owner. They're buying a company that operates without the owner. So that owner freedom, yeah, they enjoy life much better, but it also increases the value of their company. So when the business runs without you, it is the fastest path to freedom. So it's important to remove the bottlenecks and the noise. And we do that with automation, systemization, and focused role design. Not the owner being a firefighter. So we need to get the owners out of the firefighter role. The firefighter is the one who has their hands in everything, in all major decisions. Instead, they need to be a strategic leader. An owner's journey is one that is either going to lead to burnout or to multiples in an exit. Let me share with you. About 2 years ago, Sarah, who is a CEO of a thriving 22 million logistics company, she went from, or when you looked at the company from the outside, what you would see is that things look great. There's solid revenue, a loyal team, and years of growth. But on the inside, she was the linchpin. Every major decision flowed through her. Vacations were off the table. She never went on vacation. Why? Because her team depended on her for everything. When a private equity firm approached, the offer was disappointing. They offered 3.2 times EBITDA. That's barely enough to cover what she and the investors put into it. Why? The risk was her. The business couldn't run without her. That's when we got involved. Over the next 15 months, we applied the Freedom Blueprint. The result? Systematized operations, delegated leadership, and they used real-time dashboards to reduce invisible risk. Her company now ran without her. She even took a 5-week vacation while the deal was on the table. And that is amazing because the final offer was 9.1 times EBITDA. So 3 times what it was in the beginning. That's the exit advantage. Not just better valuation, but real owner freedom. eXitSystems isn't about guesswork. It's a foolproof, proven process. When you follow the platform, success isn't a possibility, it's a plan. It's a new category of increasing valuation. And what we call it is transformation-based exit readiness. There's an opportunity for direct work with our partners on a confidential boardroom level roadmap. It's a path forward if it's the right fit. You can scan this QR code to schedule your Freedom Discovery session. No commitments, just clarity. We'll review the Value Atlas diagnostic, identify your valuation levers, and then we'll help you decide if eXitSystems is the right fit for your future. So at the end of the day, it's all about right fit. And if eXitSystems isn't the right fit for you, we understand. But we want to give you that opportunity to understand if it is for you or not. So time for Q&A. And I'll first address 5 quick frequently asked questions. How long does it take to see the results from this platform? Most owners begin seeing measurable improvements in 90 days. Whether that's reduced cost leakage, operational clarity, or cultural alignment. By 12 to 18 months, many see significant EBITDA growth and valuation lift. Question 2, how do I know this will work for my business? Well, we start with a 15-minute diagnostic that reveals real-time valuation drivers, constraints, and readiness gaps. It's built for mid-market companies and tailored to the variables strategic buyers look for. So what you get is buyer aligned and business specific. Do I need to give up control to make this work? No. In fact, we give you more control through real-time dashboards, which we talk in depth about here, but also through structured systems and leadership development that reduces owner dependency. And again, as we've already talked, owner dependency is a killer in deals. Buyers don't want that. So it's about increasing visibility, not letting go of your vision. Question 4, is this just another coaching program or CRM tool? It's neither. eXitSystems is a full stack transformation platform, combining operational systemization, valuation strategy, and culture building into one buyer-built process. It's built to produce results buyers care about. And then 5, how is this different from what EOS or scaling up provide? Well, EOS and scaling up, they're actually great for structure. We go further, aligning that structure with valuation outcomes. No one else does that. Buyer expectations and cultural readiness. We're not just helping you operate, we're helping you position, perform, and prepare for a premium exit. Any other questions? The eXitSystems team and I, we thank you for attending today. We look forward to partnering with you so you have a company that's built to scale and designed to sell. Thank you.